Hello everyone, welcome back. I first want to apologize for missing last week's upload. I've been working on an exciting project that I'm hoping to release sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's hop right into video number 14, which arguably could be the most impactful video that anyone could ever watch in their life. So, bold statement, but it's true, so let's hop right into it. Let me share my screen here. I think this would be the easiest way to go about this. And let me move this so I can see, right? And today, we're gonna be talking about investments and why you should start investing now. So I just want to start this video off first before I go on to the next slide of saying, this is by no means me giving you any financial advice. I'm not recommending you to buy or sell any securities. I am not a personal financial advisor, so take it with a grain of salt. However, as a finance major and someone very interested in the stock market and personal finances, I can't stress enough the importance of knowing how to manage your money and where you should put it. So let's hop right into it. First thing, and most importantly, is that time is money. So the more time you have on your side, the better. The more opportunity you have to make money within the market. So I want to share something a little different now. I'm going to keep going back and forth here, just to give you some examples. And we're gonna look at a compound interest calculator. So for example, you can look this up on your own and I'll put the link to the description if you wanna check it out. So let's say you have an initial investment of $1,000. You can contribute 100 per month. And I'm doing length of 47 years. And this is if you were to start at 18 years old and you went until you were 65, which is that average retirement age. Average interest rate will do 8% because that's typically the average return on the market per year. So we'll go in 8%, and if you calculate this, you will see, it's being slow, there we go, $580,712. So in 47 years, that is what your $1,000 with your monthly contribution of $100 would turn into. Now here's the thing that's really unique and really cool about this. Everyone's different. So let's say maybe, like that first initial investment, you're doing $1,000, but let's say you have the possibility of doing $150 per month, right? By this time, maybe you're 24, 25, I don't know, you have a job, right? You have the opportunity to invest more per month. We'll keep the year the same interest rate. Now watch this, we're at 580,000. So $50 increase per month is going to change this number significantly. Now you can see we're at 852,000. That was a $300,000 jump for $50 per month. So you can see how most people, truthfully, when they're 30 years old and financially stable, they're probably able to invest more per month, right? We could go 300, double that number. Watch this. And this is the power of compound interest. This is why it is so important to start young. If you can start just a small amount, $50 for your first 5 years until you can add more, right? Look at the impact, 1.6 million. It's the power of compound interest. So again, that was the compound interest calculator. I'm gonna go back to the slide now. So this is why time is important. The more time you have on your side, oh my God, you're setting yourself up for success. So start young, start when you're 18, just start taking little percentage of your paycheck every month and throw it in an account. So let's hop into the next slide. How do you start, right? So, we're young, you're 18, you're like, where do I go? What do I do? I don't know where to put my money. But the first thing I would look at is open a commission-free trading account. I personally use TD Ameritrade and I love it. They have a lot of educational tools that you can use. It is completely free. I pay nothing to open the account. When I buy or trade a stock, I don't pay anything. But some of the other ones you can look at as well are Fidelity, E-Trade, and Charles Schwab. Those are just some of the higher recommended brokerages. They're all amazing, so do your own research. And then the second thing is, what type of account are you going to open? Are you going to open a Roth IRA? Are you going to open a standard brokerage account? These are questions you need to ask yourself and do your research on. For example, a Roth IRA, by the time you're ready to retire and you're 59 and a half years old, your contributions will be tax-free. So any gain you made, it's tax-free up to that point. You can put in $6,000 per year of prepaid tax money. versus a brokerage account, which you will be paying taxes on. But you don't have to wait to that withdrawal without a penalty until you're 59 and a half years old. So there's pros and cons in both. You can do both. That's what I do. I have a brokerage and I have a Roth IRA account, and I invest equally in both of them. Again, do your own research. These are just some first steps on, hey, let's look at TD Ameritrade. Let's look at setting up an account for myself, and the next step from there. So now that you made your account, now you're going to ask yourself the $1 million question: what do I invest in? And first and foremost, I'm going to say this 100 times over: do your own research. That's the most important part. But I'm going to break down 2 different types of investment I think are best for someone starting out. The first one is an index fund. An index fund is essentially a mirror or a shadow of some of the top markets. So some index funds can mirror the S&P 500, the Dow 30, certain sectors. And basically what this means is you can put your money in this fund. So you put $50 per month, and there's typically an expense ratio as a brokerage or a dealer is controlling the money and what the investments are. And that expense ratio is, you want to find one that's typically lower. So usually 0.05 or lower. You want to look for an initial investment requirement. So unless you have the capital, a lot of index funds will require like $3,000 today to be entered into the fund. But there are a lot who do not mandate that requirement. And lastly, I would suggest one that tracks the overall market. As I mentioned, the market averages 8% year over year on average. I would just find a fund that tracks the market, because then on average, you're going to have an 8% gain year over year. Secondly, I look at ETFs, and an ETF is almost the same as an index fund. It can track the overall market depending on what the ETF is, but it is a stock. So it trades like a stock, whereas an index fund, you can put any amount of money in. So I can put $50 in per month, whereas an ETF, I have to buy one share of this stock at whatever price that I want to buy it at. So that is the difference. It does have an expense ratio, just like an index fund does as well. But ETFs, you can get very selective, whether it be like the technology sector, healthcare, retail, you name it. So the 2 places I think is best for beginners to put their money into. It is a put it in and forget about it mentality. I would recommend setting up an account, looking and finding a fund, and I'll have resources in the description that you can do your own research on. And then taking a select amount of money each month out of your paycheck, throwing it in the account and forgetting about it. So that is the best thing you can do. Throw the money in, forget about it. Look at it years down the road and be like, wow, look at that. Oh, watch it grow. It's exciting. So lastly, this slide shows that I have resources in the description. Some of my favorite YouTube videos that talk about the difference between IRA and brokerage accounts, some top index funds for beginners to invest in, and just how to start investing. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. I cannot stress enough the importance of starting early and just putting some money in. So just like that was video 14. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week. Peace.